Hello everyone, you welcome to this news hour on Equinoxe television, live from my headquarters in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. I am Bable Jonathan. The Cameroon Renaissance Movement CRM National President Professor Maurice Kamto says the struggle for change continues in the Republic. He assured militant supporters and sympathizers of the party that all militants who have been arrested and detained, especially in the New Bell prison here in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala, are going to be set free. The struggle for their freedom, the struggle for change continues in the Republic of Cameroon. Professor Maurice Kamto was speaking to the public today here in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala, while the struggle continues in the northwest and southwest regions of the country as well to put an end to the continuous bloodshed and destruction of properties going on there. The people of Ekondo Titi, together with their elite, were on the streets pressing for an end to violence, killings, destruction in those two regions within the context of the close to 5-year-long armed conflict going on there. And Cameroon fails to deliver as far as the readiness of the Olembe Stadium in the nation's political capital, Yaoundé, is concerned. Today is the deadline for that amenity to be ready to host notably the opening encounter of the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations. He has not been seen in public for quite some time now, and he comes out today and speaks to supporters, sympathizers, militants of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement and Cameroonians in general. He is Professor Maurice Kamto, National President of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement political party, the man who has been struggling for change in the Republic of Cameroon. And he says the struggle continues, the struggle for change, and of course the struggle for the liberation and the rights of militants of his political party and all other persons arrested arbitrarily and have been detained illegally in prisons across the country. And of course, he was speaking to the public today here in Douala. Innocent as he was there, and now reports.
The 57 CRM detainees in the New Bell Central Prison brought Professor Maurice Kamto to Douala. After meeting his detained militants, he moved at the party's headquarters at Grand Moulin Douala, where he was welcomed by a large crowd of militants, supporters and sympathizers. Addressing them, he emphasized the CRM party will relentlessly strive for change in Cameroon through peace and ballot box path.
I came to pay a visit to our fellow friends who are detained in New Bell prison here in Douala for the past 14 months, arbitrarily, illegally. Our motto is peaceful change through the ballot box.
Nothing, he added, will stop this except victory.
This is our choice. This is our ideology. Basically, we stand by that.
Professor Maurice Kamto also told the yelling crowd the path of peace does not mean fear or weakness.
We don't want fight, but we do not fear fight. We do not fear fight. If they impose fight on us, then we will fight.
The CRM leader reiterated that no matter how long it will take, change will come to Cameroon and the determined CRM will reach its victory destination.
And Professor Maurice Kamto reassured militants, supporters and sympathizers of the CRM political party that all the militants, 57 of them in number, who are being detained will be set free so that they can celebrate end-of-year festivities with their families and in freedom. And this was equally reiterated by the Secretary General of that party. Take a listen to Professor Maurice Kamto and Justin Noir.
Is that all our friends, political friends who are detained will be released before the end of this year, so that they will celebrate all the end of year feast in their families. There is no reason why they should be in prison.
Our national president has always wanted to pay a visit to his members in prison, but the regime has done everything they could to stop him from doing that. Recently, they allowed him to go in to go and pay them visits in certain prisons like Bafoussam, today in Douala. And what did he tell them? He told them what he already knew, that is that they have to be steadfast, they have to be strong, because this is a fight. I want to tell you that the decision that the party took to accept the proposition from the lawyers to withdraw from all judicial procedures, that idea came from our members in prison, because they have realized that since they are political prisoners, their freedom cannot come from the justice system. It has to come from the regime. That is political, and that's why they decided to accept the withdrawal of their lawyers.
CRM National President Professor Maurice Kamto and Deputy Secretary General Justin Noir speaking there. Now to the southwest region of the Republic of Cameroon, where elite and all the inhabitants of Equinoxe Titi subdivision have been on the streets pressing for an end to the killings and the destruction going on there, and the rest of Anglophone Cameroon, they took to the streets pressing for an end to these ills, to the atrocities, and they are saying our children must live, they must go to school, they have to be educated. Cameroon must not have an uneducated generation. Jato reports.
Sent by Chief Dr. Joseph Dion Gute, the Cameroon Prime Minister and Head of Government, the message of the Elidom Dian Division was clear: to condemn all acts of terrorism perpetrated by the separatist fighters, and they march on the street of Equinoxe Titi to make their voices heard. Earlier, an ecumenical service was organized with Let Our Children Live campaign.
Let our children, if you support Let Our Children Live, please come forward here. If you support Let Our Children Live, please come and join me. Come and join me. Let us beg them. Let us beg them. If you support Let Our Children Live, come and join me. Let our children live. Let our children live. Let our children live. Leave the choir. Let us shout. Let our children live. Let our children live. Let our children live. Amen.
Anabiola Timote, the divisional officer for Equinoxe Titi subdivision, reminded the population of Equinoxe Titi that the solution is to stop the links with separatist fighters.
They are your children.
The men of God here call on all the sons and daughters of the Anglophone regions to stop looking only at President Paul Biya for the solution of the Anglophone crisis.
Let us do something. I call for the Senate to do something. Let the National Assembly do something.
The Yaoundé delegation, before leaving Equinoxe Titi, met with the bereaved families to extend the sympathy of the Cameroon Prime Minister and also hand his assistance to them as a father and an elite of this subdivision. A gesture that was accompanied by a similar action from Honorable Njume Peter Ambang, the Member of Parliament for Equinoxe Titi and Dikome Balwe subdivisions.
Several business sites set ablaze or consumed by wild flames in the Kutaba locality. It is, of course, in the Nun Division, West region of the Republic of Cameroon. And sources say the fire was provoked by a woman who is selling in front of one of those of licenses because of some of the activities that she was carrying on there. The fire is said to have consumed at least 5 of licenses, and enormous material damage recorded there. Now to Sudan, and we are talking about the protest In that country, thousands of people are taking part in a protest in Sudan's capital, Khartoum, against the country's military leaders. Reports say the security forces near the presidency fired tear gas to disperse them, and the opposition had called for the protest despite a deal last week that reinstated Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok and leaders of the leaders who were arrested and detained set free. Now in sports, Cameroon has failed to deliver the Olembe Sports Complex to the Confederation of African Football for the upcoming African Nations Cup, and the deadline for that sport amenity to be ready was today, and a big question mark now hangs on the opening encounter of the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations taking place in Olembe Stadium in the nation's capital, Yaoundé, and the deadline given by Cameroon and reiterated by the Confederation of African Football for that sports amenity to be ready is today. CAF Secretary General Veron Musengo Omba said if everything is not settled by November 30, 2021, the opening match of the AFCON 2021 will be taken to another stadium. And he went further to say arrangements have already been made in this direction, but it would be unfortunate for the organizing committee, the Confederation of African Football, and for Cameroon for the encounter not to take place there. Before this, he regretted that despite numerous visits, including that of the CAF President, Vice President and Secretary General, and the promises followed from the Cameroon government, actions were not taken. And today, construction works are still going on the sports complex, and the 60,000 capacity stadium, the 50,000 capacity stadium is yet to be ready, but other facilities around the stadium are still under construction. And here in Cameroon's economic capital, we talk about the road leading to the Omisport Stadium. It is in a bad state.
Residents and commuters in Bipanda Douala 5 subdivision decried a poor state of roads in their neighborhood, especially the stretch heading to the Bipanda Reunification Stadium. The stretch, engulfed by potholes and craters, has made movement become a nightmare, especially when it rains. Bayon Res, a taxi driver, says the deplorable state of the road is constantly damaging his taxi as he visits mechanic workshops every week for repairs. He adds that the African Cup of Nations will be played in few months, but no effort is being made to repair the poor state of roads. Some residents of the area believe the nonchalant nature of the government towards the state of this road heading to the Bipanda Stadium is linked to the fact that the site has not been retained to host AFCON matches. The population are calling on the government to intervene to reduce the hardship people go through on a daily basis while applying on the stretch.
And Cameroon's Minister of Sports and Physical Education, Professor Narcisse Moelle Kombi, has assured sports stakeholders and lovers that they have allocated the financial resources that is needed to ensure the completion of work on the Olembe Stadium and its annexes. And he adds that the machinery company in charge of the construction works, which is handling the construction works, is putting efforts to ensure that everything is ready for the G-Day. Meet Augustine in some few seconds. Thank you for staying with us in Talking Points. Our guest today, Boris Ngala, is an entrepreneur. You're welcome.
Thank you, Babula Jonathan. Thank you, televiewers.
All right, today we're talking business, and a huge chunk of the population of Cameroon are business people, and they are mostly young people who are involved in one business activity or the other, and many are stagnating. many are failing, many are unable to grow. What's the problem here?
Well, when it comes to business, we're talking about someone's regular occupation that one does every day, and so there are there are some reasons why people will not make it in business, and of course we are here to look into that and get a solution to it. So first reason I would say is many people step into business as a means of making money, as a means of making it out of life. But business is not for those that just want to make quick money. Businesses are for those that have deliberately decided to do something to provide a service or product to impact the community, and by so doing they make money out of it.
Now, what can possibly explain the fact that somebody gets into business today, he starts buying and selling some things, or starts providing some services, and after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, 10 years, the person is on the same spot and still borrowing money, still borrowing capital, and things like that?
First of all, you have to look at the vision that inspired the person to start that particular business. What was his vision? Why did he start that business in the very first place? The motive behind starting that business. Because somebody might start a business just to make money, that is the main thing, that is his main drive. And so many of those people will not make it. If you're starting a business just to make money, you will not be able to make it. And that, as you said, many people start a business and they're stagnated. Well, every business runs on a system. Every business has a system that runs, and we all know that system does crash if it is not well managed, or if it is not well built. First of all, you want to look at how the motive, like I said, the motive of starting the business, which is the fundamental aspect of it, starting the business, building the business. What was the motive of building that business in the very first place? And reasons why people get stagnated is because there is what we call in business the front end and the back end. Like every system, it has a front end and a back end. And front end here, we're talking about potential customers. We're referring to potential customers. We're referring to existing customers. And unfortunately, it is quite very problematic to so many startups to know how to manage their existing customers. So many people don't know how to manage their existing customers by providing premium customer service. Not premium customer service, just a normal service that customers deserve. Imagine going to the market and you want to buy something from someone who has been praying that God should bless his or her business, and the first thing is the look, just their face, just their look itself, just the way they twist their face and look at you. It feels like you why are you here? So there is no that passion is not there.
Business becomes like a punishment.
That is it. So many people don't understand the very basics of business, which is the steps of service. The steps of service of hospitality, being hospitable, smiling when you see your customers, asking them questions if you don't see them, and even getting in contact, making them to understand that they are part of you, you are part of them. You are there because they are your main source. Without your customers, you're running out. And so many people focus, some businesses focus, there is the front end, like I said, and there is the back end. So when someone focuses so much on the back end, like back end is about the making of money, of course, but back end speaks more of the people, the team, the system that runs the business, and also efficiency. Many people focus more on efficiency than focusing on the front end, providing more of good customer service, making sure that the customers are satisfied, making sure that they are there for the customers, and making the customers feel that we are involved into this, we are building this together. We are a family. So, so many people don't know that.
That's building sustainability and growth in business.
Yes.
It's quite disturbing and sometimes very, very frustrating. Sometimes very frustrating when you see some young men who've been doing a particular activity for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and they are still doing the same thing. They have not progressed an inch. And even for those who are just buying goods in the market and going to retail in the quarters, sometimes after 3, 4, 5 years, they are still coming to you to say, please, can you give me 10,000? I don't have capital to start business the next Monday. And it's quite frustrating. That takes us to the idea of business incubator. How important is this to be able to solve this kind of problem and keep people growing in business?
Well, for business incubators, actually, it has been proven that business incubators are really the very right place for each and every business person to go. Or if you cannot afford going to a business incubator, you can at least have a mentor, someone to hold your hand, someone to coach you, someone to show you the way. You must have someone you're looking up to, that they have attained a certain level, that you are hoping and praying and working hard in order to attain that level. So you must have someone like that. And so going back again, incubators, there is no it's not a dispute that they are amazing. They are the right place for every entrepreneur to go to. They are the right place in terms of the right information. You can get information. You will get the right information. You can get internet. You can get internet services. You can get free networking. They can give you access to different. There are no different incubators that are doing marvelously well in the Middle East, in South Africa, and even in Ghana. I've been to Ghana and I've seen what incubators, the importance of incubators in the community. I've seen that. This is relatively not very visible within the Central African sub-region and in Cameroon even. That's why you're setting one in Bonaberi, I think so. Yes, of course. Actually, as I was in Ghana, I got so inspired by a university student who started this sanitary part kind of a thing, just selling, and just as from one hostel to the other and stuff. And because of the incubation program that she went through, she was inspired to go for more, to go for more, and she went for it. And today she's running a company and she has employed about 15 people, and she's able to pay her school fees. She's driving to the university campus with her own car. I mean, I was so impressed by that, and I'm like, why don't we do it here? Why don't we do it here in Cameroon? It's happening already. We have a couple of those that have been existing in Cameroon already, and we really appreciate what they've been doing. We're just here to support them, to ensure that we give the free internet services that we have, which will be consistent internet services. I say consistent because high quality internet service, let's say, and we will have 24/7. We guarantee 24/7 electricity, because we have a standby generator, a big one for that matter, and we have a good space that people can always come around and they will have access to networking, to mentorship, and to all of that.
We have exhausted our time, so it's in short, it's a training, a mentorship and opportunity arena that you're putting up there in Bonaberi, and I believe everybody have access, should be qualified to come over there to learn how to do business, to do better.
Yes, there is a criteria for entrepreneurs that want to enroll to be taken. So they have to write an entrance, which there will be a due process.
All right.